facilitate lots of things, but I do try and look after the plants with the help of some of the service users. I think they like the look of the garden more now. It's more of an inviting space, and we try and make sure we use it more, obviously because it's had all these changes. The garden was fairly functional, but it wasn't a nice place. It didn't have enough seating areas. Having the shed in the middle of it sort of spoilt the view, the vista from the dining room and the lounge. So getting the shed taken out and a pergola put up improved the look of the garden, I think. The works probably started in July and it finished in around September. We've got raised beds, we've got more patio, flat flooring for walking. We've got lots of new plants, we've got fragrant plants, we've got rosemary, we've got lavender, we've got sage, which are all nice to smell and feel. We've got lots of grasses that blow. We've got verbena, which grows really tall with purple flowers. Irises in the spring, daffodils. The people that come here can range from 104 to 65. The garden is a lovely space because some people live indoors and they don't get to see or get in a garden because they physically can't get there themselves. So if they're in a wheelchair, they can come out here, or with their Zimmer frames, they can come out safely and walk around the garden, sit in the garden, chat in the garden. We try and use it a lot more often than maybe before, weather dependent, but we do try and use the garden a lot. Last summer we had a really nice summer, so we had lots of activities. We've had skittles, we've had cream tea outside, football, ball games, anything to do with throwing or kicking or passing, reminiscence groups, flower arranging. You know, there's lots of things that go on in the garden depending on what the clients want to do. When the chap came from Thrive, he gave us some peas and some runner beans. So we managed to keep those plants going, and that's what we planted last year. We're hoping to plant our strawberry runners, runner beans, peas. I think Peter wants to try carrots again. So normally client-led what we plant. It is a social space now. Yeah, it is a social space. Even sitting and having a cup of tea, it's quite a nice thing to do.
We know a lot about how gardens can be beneficial to all sorts of people, and for people with dementia in particular, they offer the opportunity in order for people to be able to go outside and spend time in a restorative environment, somewhere where our mental fatigue is essentially rested and restored, so that we're perhaps feeling a bit better mentally, less likely to be impulsive, more likely to be tolerant, and so on. There is little bits of evidence that suggest that using gardens and timing gardens as well as gardening can be really useful as a secondary prevention strategy for people with dementia. So this project essentially set out to redevelop gardens within these dementia care settings, provide them with resources and provide them with training so that they can be better able to work with people with dementia in the garden, go outside with people with dementia and make the most of the benefits that are there for everyone. You can improve gardens initially by ensuring that they have good structure. So sometimes it's about the hard landscaping in order to make sure that people can get around the whole of the space. Sometimes in relation to people with dementia specifically, it might be about making sure there are no reflective surfaces that for some people with dementia could be seen as drops in the surfacing that they're walking over and things like this. Sometimes it's about the planting, making the planting more interesting, perhaps increasing its sort of sensory value and also its usability. In general, the project has been very, very successful and we have seen increased levels of use of the garden. Essentially, the feedback so far has been on the whole very positive, to say that the small investment, you know, between sort of £5,000 and £10,000 or £12,000 that each garden has had, has made a difference. The training alongside also makes a difference in perhaps leaving the staff feeling a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more confident that they know how to use the garden and specifically what different things they can do in the garden very safely with people with dementia.
Living through landscapes has given us a really lovely garden, and we've all benefited from this garden all last summer. We've really enjoyed having this garden, so we're very thankful for getting our bid through.